Back to another video here, and while this may look just like a regular video, there's a little something different going on, as you could tell from the title. That's right, we have completely revamped the conferences. So I did a little bit of this by going through and picking, like looking at a map and being like, okay, so this one's located here, this one's located there. And yeah, I just tried to kind of put that together. And then I looked up where the headquarters for some of these conferences are. And while it doesn't make sense for all, it does for some. And anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. So for the ACC, I thought to myself, well, let's see, Atlantic Coast, but then we also have the Southeastern Conference. So I'm like, okay, let's go northern. So North Carolina is the most southern state in the ACC now. And then we have Maryland, Old Dominion, Virginia Tech. Actually, we should probably look at that. So App State from North Carolina. Then we have Boston College, which is up in Boston, Massachusetts, obviously. Buffalo, New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, Delaware by itself. Then we have Duke, North Carolina. All right, now that the screaming children outside is gone, we got Duke, East Carolina, and then we have James Madison, Virginia. So, yeah, as you guys can tell, you know where these colleges are, whatever. That's what we're rocking, the ACC, the American Conference. So, for this one, their headquarters is in Texas, along with, 4 others, but I didn't know that when I was making it. So, this is all Texas schools, also including Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and Tulsa. If you didn't know, there are that many schools in Texas. So, we have American for our Texas, Oklahoma area. Then ACC is going to be North Carolina all the way up north, not with coastal states. The Big 12, I decided we were going to rock just some of the remaining colleges, but together, so like Kentucky, Louisville, and Western Kentucky, and then Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Memphis, and then Marshall, West Virginia. So we just kind of threw them together right there at Big 12. I think their headquarters in Texas, but who cares? For the Big 10, I decided that we were going to do, theirs is in Illinois, so I did Illinois with all the surrounding states, which pretty much is what the Big 10 was to begin with, obviously before everything started moving, but as you can tell, Notre Dame is in this as well, alongside Purdue, Wisconsin, Missouri State, Minnesota, Iowa State, Indiana, so on and so forth. This one, so you cannot have less than 4 teams, because I was just going to have these 3 teams in the conference, because it's, oh, you know what, maybe I could have if I would have checked the rules. I don't know. I didn't mess with any of the rules of the conferences. So Nebraska's here because they were the only lone team that didn't have they don't have a Nebraska State in this, or a university, whatever, so Nebraska kind of got screwed. They got left with the military schools, but that is what it is. There's no independence, because honestly I was going to throw those guys into independence, but that's fine. So for the MAC, some guys are going to hate me here. Their central headquarters is in Ohio, so we have all Ohio schools. We have Pennsylvania schools. We have Michigan schools, and I think that's it. Because there's so many Michigan and Ohio schools, and then Pennsylvania. They just kind of got grouped in because they're next to them. With the Mountain West, we just pretty much went up the mountains and took all of those teams and picked them up. A lot of them are already in here, but we went ahead through Kansas State, BYU, in Colorado, I believe. For the Pac-12, we just quite literally took the entirety of the California, along with Arizona and Hawaii and Washington. So, and Oregon went all the way down, and then just grabbed Hawaii on our way. SEC, so this one is where I went. You guys are going to be like, no, where's Alabama? Where's Auburn? Where's the schools that make the SEC good? Yeah, well, this isn't a regular video, so get over it. We have all the Florida schools, we have all the Georgia schools, and we have all the, what others? I think I just did Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. That's what I did. So Florida, Georgia, South Carolina schools are all in the SEC. For the Sun Belt, we have the Sun Belt. It's the East and the West. So the East is Alabama and Mississippi. The West is Louisiana, Arkansas, and then Ole Miss, because I had to fill out. This didn't all work perfectly like I wanted it to, but it worked pretty good, so I was excited. So now we're going to simulate and just see what the end of the year looks like, because I know I'm controlling North Carolina, but I'm really not doing much. And, I just want to kind of see where we end up, what ends up happening. Well, it looked as though North Carolina finished 8-4, so that's pretty cool. Around the league, let's see what we got. We'll go conference standings first. Duke is undefeated. They went 12-0. NC State 10-2, Virginia 10-2, North Carolina 8-4, Rutgers 7-5. Worst team in the conference with Appalachian State. They had quite the difference. East Carolina next. UMass, Delaware, Charlotte, Old Dominion. No big surprises here. James Madison went 6-6. That's actually pretty surprising. And UConn went 7-5, and Liberty went 8-4. So that's pretty impressive. all things considered, with them to go that good. So North Carolina did still finish 4th in the conference. Not bad. Not bad at all. In the American, we got Texas A&M and Texas Tech and Oklahoma. Texas on top. Obviously, Texas State, poor Texas State, just got beat every single... Did they get beat every single... Oh, yeah. Like, well, they got beat, but, like, they got beat bad. In pretty much every conference game. Yikes. Dang, man. Even North Texas beat them. Is what it is, UTSA. That's what happens when you do these, right? Because you got a lot of these schools like that have, like, they might be geographically located near, but they got no business playing those schools. In the Big 12, West Virginia took the lead over Tennessee and Louisville, with Marshall and Western Kentucky falling to the tail end. Big 10, we have Purdue and Missouri State rounding off the bottom, with Notre Dame in the top. So I don't know why they don't go to a conference anyways. Followed behind them is Iowa State. In our CUSA little conference, Army took the reins there, but they all had pretty good overall. I'm wondering if... Okay, I'm curious. If... So yeah, they only had to play each other once, but then obviously... Oh, they still haven't even played Navy yet. Huh. Interesting. I guess this isn't completely over yet because it's only week 15. All right, hold on. My bad. All right, now we're into the conference championship week, so we should get a little bit more accurate scores and schedules. I don't really need to see that, but we can see who's in the conference championship. So the American, it's Oklahoma and Texas A&M. ACC, it's State and Duke. Big 10, Tennessee, Louisville. Big 12, Tennessee, Louisville. Big 10, Iowa State, Notre Dame. Conference USA is Army, Air Force. MAC is going to be Ohio State and Michigan. That's pretty fire. As you can see, Michigan's undefeated this year. Mountain West is going to be Kansas State, BYU. Then we're going to have Arizona State, Oregon being undefeated this year. We got Clemson, Florida. That's a pretty wild matchup. And then we got Arkansas, Alabama. Another wild matchup. I like the look of this. You get a lot of these schools. Looking at the top 25, we kind of got a glimpse of it, but here's what it's looking like. Only 3 undefeated teams, so Oregon, Florida, and Michigan. Duke as well, and also Arkansas. Okay, jeez, all right. I guess they, given their conference, maybe that's causing them not to in the Sun Belt. Yeah, because let's see, Alabama's in the East. They lost 1 game. Yeah, they don't have a lot to play against, honestly, other than like LSU. But yeah, Alabama took the top of that one, which is weird, but well, they're still undefeated as well in that. So, and then Florida took the top of the SEC with Clemson following, and South Carolina and Georgia right behind. This is a pretty top-heavy conference. I think all of them are though. Like they have really good teams, and then the bottom just kind of falls off. Like down here, you got a bunch of 4-8, 5-7s in the Pac-12. The Mountain West, did that change anything with the Heisman finalists? I wonder. So John Mateer, yeah, no, we got similar to the normal ones that pop up there. And then bowl projections. Oh, I want to look at the college football playoffs. That's what I want to look at. I don't really care about bowl projections, all things considered. I wanted to see how much this would actually change anything. So then we have... Okay, so this changes it to where there's no small teams making it, because this is all big team. Unless a small team were to whatever, but they got to play against those big teams. So that kind of defeats any sort of like small team making making a run or anything like that. Yeah. Can I see, does it only show me school? It doesn't show me like conferences. Oh, it does show me conferences. Cool. So yeah, looking at our passing yards leaders, we got C.J. Bailey, and then Duke's Darian Mensah. Looks as though, oh man, Connor Harrell actually did pretty good. He's back in the ACC. Where the heck is our quarterback? There he is. Gio Lopez didn't do anything. And then for the rest of the ones that played pretty much the whole time, the worst one it looks like was Liberty's quarterback. Actually, no. Taquan Robertson had a really crappy year. These guys did too, but they threw for a good bit of yards. Anybody throw for no picks that actually played? So 3 for Alonzo Barnett. He's such a beast, bro. It's like nuts. The most touchdowns was Chandler Morse from Virginia. Rushing yards, we had Cam Edwards and Hollywood Smothers from NC State. I wonder what his impact breaker is, because I never see him in the thing, or maybe I do and I just don't pay attention. Davion Goss, 957 yards, and then our receiving's looking like that. I'm just going to go nationally so we can see the best in the country. Zachariah Branch. DJ Rouse from Georgia State actually popped up there pretty good. Emmanuel Henderson, okay. And then rushing is going to be Tully Walker and then Star Thomas. Got Ronald Barnes the third from Tulane, some other guys. Passing, we got, dude, what a freaking performance from Jaden Maivia. And then Reese Poffenbarger. What a name, dude. North Texas, stand up. Threw through a bunch of, for a ton of passing yards. He threw for 4,000 passing yards, bro. That's freaking nuts. Anybody on defense do anything actually good? So we had a couple guys with 7 picks from Wisconsin. Okay, not too bad, not too shabby. Any crazy amount of sacks? We had, oh yeah, from Boise State as well as Pitt. And any kick returns? Yeah, we got a couple. We got a few kick returns. Any punt return touchdowns? And we got a couple. So that's pretty much the end for that year. Now we're going to hop in and see how the college football playoff goes. All right, so it looks as though, so we had Notre Dame upset Clemson, Texas upset Michigan, Duke upset Tennessee, and Georgia upset Texas Tech. So we had upsets all across the board to start the first round. In the quarterfinal, Florida did advance. Texas pulled an upset over Louisville, who ended up being number 1. That's crazy. Duke ended up losing out to Oregon, and then Georgia pulled the upset over Oregon. Georgia pulling an upset over Oregon, and Texas pulling an upset. So it is Georgia and Texas in the college football championship. And your college football championship winner is Texas over Georgia in this first year here with the new conferences. So I'm going to go ahead and go to next year and see what happens after next year, because I don't think 1 year is just enough. I want to see if any small schools are able to overcome the difficulty of having like good schools in every conference. All right, getting into the next year, here's what our preseason top 25 looks like. No real underdog schools in here. I have a feeling that this just kind of ruins the whole concept of having an underdog school, because you can't, you just can't, like, I don't know, you can't win your conference because you got at least a Georgia in this conference and whoever in the, it makes it difficult. All right, and we are looking here. We got Rocco Becht wins the Heisman Award. I realized last time I didn't show who won the Heisman. And North Carolina is in the Game Above Sports Bowl. I thought I saw it. Yeah, we went 11-2. That's kind of nuts. I don't care about all these other bowl games, if I'm being honest. I do like to see the top 25 to see what we ended up with. So Louisville, Oregon, Texas Tech, Clemson. So BYU made an appearance. They went undefeated. Shout out to BYU. Any other surprises? Not really, man. These are pretty much all, other than BYU, these are all power schools. Excuse me. I guess Kentucky as well would be considered one of those that shouldn't have been there, but they were, so shout out to them. North Carolina is number 1 in the ACC. Wow. They didn't make it to the college football playoffs? Dang, that's crazy. Okay. They weren't ranked either? What? Dude, that's nuts. None of these guys were ranked, huh? What do you freaking know? Yeah, obviously, kind of looking the same here. Buffalo actually did good. They went 8-4, and App State went positive, so that's good for them. In the American, I'm just looking at these one. Oh my God, UTEP got destroyed. Yeah, these Texas schools don't stand a chance with all these powerhouses in here. Although TCU did pretty good. No big surprises on this side. Nothing really over here either. Yeah, I think that. Oh, Nebraska went undefeated though. Shout out to them. 13-0, baby. What a freaking performance. I didn't even. Yeah, Navy. Damn, Navy. It's Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Yep, running the conference. BYU. Oh, because they're in the Mountain West. That's why. Yep. Sure enough. That'll do it when these are the teams you're facing. Pac-12, we got Oregon on top with all the other guys just kind of hanging out around the bottom. SEC, Clemson, Georgia, Miami, Florida. You can see this every year, honestly. Nothing good going for anybody else, really. And then in the Sun Belt, we got LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Ole Miss. Yep. Looks about right. I'm genuinely surprised that they did not let North Carolina into this, considering they were the top of the ACC, and looks like they won the ACC as well because they went undefeated. Unless they do that this week and maybe they move them into it. I don't know. No, I think they already did conference. Yeah, they already did the conference championships. Looking at the Heisman's, though. Your Heisman winner is Rocco Becht. These are our runner-ups. And checking out some of the stats. There's some All-Americans. Let's check it out. See if we got any. Okay, so we got a wide receiver from UTSA. Shout out to him. Pulled on to the first team. Little North Texas D tackle. Oh my God, dude. Louisville's disgusting. And then Eastern Michigan's punter, man. What a move. What a move by those guys. And then, yeah, a couple other surprises along the way on the second team, so not bad. Not bad at all. I think I'm going to give it one more year. We're going to see how things end up. But I do want to go ahead and advance to the end of season recap. And it looks as though Texas Tech beat Louisville for the national title. Yep, so UCLA moved on, Florida pulled an upset, Kentucky moved on, BYU got stomped by Oregon, Texas Tech. Oh, this one was all chalk until Texas Tech ended up making it not by winning. So, yeah, we'll do one more year. See if any small schools can do any sort of anything, and then see what it looks like. All right, and it looks like we are at this point again. The Tar Heels are sitting at 10-2, so shout out to them. LSU's Eli Holstein wins the Heisman Award. Malcolm Ziegler with the Jim Thorpe Award. And North Carolina's in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. So, yeah. Looking at our conference standings, because that's what I want to check out to see. Looks like Duke took home the North Carolina for the ACC here. But they are getting no love because of the lack of caliber of opponents in the ACC. SMU is number 1 over here, which is nuts. They usually do pretty good. And then Texas A&M following suit right behind them with TCU and Texas Tech, Texas, Oklahoma. No surprises there. Tennessee, West Virginia, Louisville, Kentucky. So I guess Kentucky doing good. That's good. Notre Dame not getting any love, and neither is anyone in the Big Ten. This USA, Nebraska, nothing there. Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Michigan, with the rest of these guys hanging out down there. Colorado, look at them, dude. They're pulling up a little bit. I think if you're in the Mountain West, that's about the only way you're a lower school and get an opportunity because, as you can tell, Oregon State did pretty good, but they're also, I feel like, a big school. Miami, Georgia, yep. Florida Atlantic went 8-4. That's not bad. Not bad at all for them. In the Sun Belt, this is what we got going on. So, yeah, no big surprises. I'm going to check the top 25 to see if I missed anybody, but I don't think I did. Yeah, USC, A&M, Arizona State, yep, these are all pretty big. So BYU did it again, Kentucky as well, being in the top 25. And then Colorado making an appearance, but other than that, it doesn't look like any small schools were able to. Checking out our Heisman finalists. Do we have any? Nope. This is all of everybody you would expect. And our college football playoff is looking a little something like this with West Virginia eking in, which is cool. West Virginia's in there finally, but other than that, and Arizona State, I don't see any. I mean, there's no small schools, none at all. So, yeah. All right. So, just looking at it right here, the winner of the national title was Clemson over Oregon. So, that would be the, I believe, SEC. Yeah. So, we had an American winner, another American winner, and then SEC winner. So that's kind of cool. Checking out the bracket. Yep, so West Virginia was able to pull an upset, so was Clemson, and so was Miami. Miami ended up making it pretty far, so did Clemson, obviously winning the title. Clemson absolutely stomped the competition. Like, no games looked like they were really that close other than that one with Georgia. So, yeah, it looks like this video is going to come to an end here. But, turns out, if you change up the conferences to make them all geographically based, you really don't have any surprise entrants in the college football playoffs. And, yeah, they just get dominated by the big schools. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Peace.